So it's just Jackie here today. Kelly doesn't practice headstands because she does have some neck injuries and she's not comfortable doing that. And maybe that's you at home, you feel the same way. By all means, you have the right and the choice to skip or omit the headstand practice. But maybe you want to tune in and just kind of listen, because it's kind of misleading. Although we are on our head, we are supporting that stance with our arms, with the strength of our upper body. And you know, as you'll see as we progress into forearm into handstand, it's not about getting directly up, right? It's about finding the proper alignment, the proper stacking, the engagement to safely lift up versus kicking or pressing up. So that's what I hope to demonstrate in this class. So we'll start with just some warm-up exercises, getting into the shoulders, experiencing the knitting of the ribs like we did in our first class, and then also the firming of the legs. So let's begin in child's pose. We'll bring our great toes together. I'll go ahead and practice with you. And just bring the arms out in front, let the forehead rest down towards your mat. And then just close the eyes here. And let's begin to focus on the breath. So let's inhale through the nose. And then exhale, just letting it go. And again, inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Let's take 5 more breaths here. Inhaling, I am strong. I am safe. I can do this. I've got this. Right? 3 more breaths. I am strong. I am safe. I've got this and I can do this. You guys can do this. You are doing it. 1 more breath. Exhaling it out. Let's slither forward into our puppy pose, dropping the chin or maybe the forehead down towards the mat. Never forcing the body into a position. So maybe the upper body connects with the mat. Maybe it doesn't. Doesn't matter. 1 more breath. And then inhale, just ripple into your tabletop position. So the shoulders are stacked on the wrists. We want to wrap the triceps. Remember, getting into that anterior serratus muscle. The inside creases of the elbows spiral forward. The shoulders, the scapulas are protracting. So you're broadening of the shoulders, right? They're separating. We talked about that in the first class. The neck is neutral, never allowing the chin to fall below the shoulders, right? Like neutral spine. So inhale, cow pose, squeezing those shoulder blades together. And then exhale, cat pose, project, raging, breathing. Again, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 1 more, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to your neutral spine. Let's stretch our shoulders out. Lift that right arm up towards the ceiling and then just weave it through and undo. Right ear comes to the mat. The left arm, bring it out in front. And just take 2 breaths, stretching that shoulder, even getting into that delt, the scapula of the shoulder muscle. 1 more breath. All right, let's bring that left hand under the left shoulder. Lift the right arm back up towards the ceiling and just nice big circles with that arm. Your shoulder is a ball and socket joint, so it moves in those 6 directions that we talked about at that first session. All right, coming into the other side, inhale that left arm up. As you exhale, weave it through and under. The right arm comes out in front. The left ear comes to the mouth. Just take a few breaths there. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. 2 more, in and out. 1 more, in and out. Bring that right arm under the right shoulder. Lift the left arm up towards the sky. Giant circles with that shoulder, with the arm, and then reversing it. And tabletop. Curl the toes. Let's come into our downward facing dog, all right? All 3 points of these. So firming of the arms, wrapping the triceps, protraction of the scapulas, right? So you're not dumping into the chest. Nice, strong rounding of the upper body. Squeeze the inner thighs together. The heels press down. They may or may not touch the mat. It doesn't really matter. And then knit your ribs in. The core is nice and strong. As we inhale, ripple forward into your high plank pose, exaggerating the protraction of the scapula. Shoulders are stacked on the wrists. You're nice and round. Breathe, holding it here. One more breath. And then downward facing dog. Nice job, guys. Pressing the mat away, wrapping the triceps. Firming of the arms, firming of the legs, firming of the core. Again, inhale, ripple forward, high plank pose. Knit your ribs in. The belly is so strong and tight. 2 more breaths. Chin is extended out. Neck is an extension of the spine. 1 more breath. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Let's tap our knees to the mat. And easy seated pose. Interlace the hands behind the back. Drop the arms, lift the chest, open up. Keep that pelvic floor neutral, right? So we don't want to dump in the lower back, but knitting the ribs in here. Nice straight spine. Remember, repetition. The more we do this, the more our body remembers it. So when we're upside down, it just naturally goes there. Right? Okay. Inhaling. Exhaling. All right, go ahead and release the hands. Just kind of shake the wrist out. We're not too much on the wrist today, so we won't do any wrist stretch, but just stretch it out. Okay, so coming upside down in headstand, I want to stress this. Please, please, please. I know we're all eager to get upside down, but to practice safely, I encourage you to please listen to the instruction that we're giving. So getting the legs straight up is the last and final expression in any inversion, right? Same for headstand, same for forearm, same for handstand. So what we're trying to do here, like I just mentioned, is keeping that neutral spine, avoiding the dumping, right? So it's the knitting of the ribs, the firming of the core. And so the first position that we're going to take is the tripod headstand. So if you come onto your knees, you're in that easy seated position still. Grabbing opposite elbows, this is the width, the distance that the arm should be. Notice that my shoulder is stacked right on top of my elbow. You're going to see this again in the forearm series, right? So again, distance, interlace, and then bring my hands there, right? So what's important with the tripod headstand is a lot of times, I'll go this way, is our hands are too far back, right? So we want our hands stacked under the shoulders, right? And then we can bring our head forward, right? So forward. So you should be able to see your hands. Now what happens here is the palm, the heel of the hand starts to lift up and the elbows start to display out. So it's that anterior serratus muscle. We're firming the arms. We're wrapping the triceps. We're pressing the mat away, right? So here, bring the head forward. You should be able to see the hands. Notice where your hands are right here. Firm, all 5, 10 fingers on the mat. The heels of the mat, the palms on the mat as well. And then hug the elbows into the mat. So my shoulders, as you can see, in line with my elbow is stacked on my wrist. Head is down. And then the first just kind of position is here. Hug the elbows in and you're staying here. Press the mat away from the hands. Minimal pressure on the top of the head. And then you can walk the feet a little closer. Again, the hips now are going past the shoulders. Right? And then come down. Past the shoulders. And then come down. High on the toes, hips shift forward, and then release the heels down. Hug the elbows in. Let's do 5 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. 3 more. You've got this. Inhale, make sure you're breathing. Hug the elbows. Press the mat away. 2 more. Arms are strong. 1 more. Nice. Go ahead and release down and just pause. Take a breath. Chin parallel to the earth. Let it go. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. So something I want to talk about actually before we do that again is the alignment of your neck, right? So imagine this block is your mat or the floor, and the block is on top of your head, okay? So you don't want, once you get up, you don't want your chin to be cupped, and you don't want your chin to be lifted. You want a neutral neck. just like so, okay? So when you're upside down, this is the position that you want to feel with the neck. You don't want any movement on the neck, okay? So coming back, that tripod positions, the hands are underneath the shoulders, the head comes forward, and then you just lift the butt up. Firm the elbows in. High on the toes, shift forward. There's our exercise, right? High on the toes, shift forward. Now maybe we walk the feet a little closer. Notice what happens with your hands, right? My palm of my hand started to lift up. The heel of my hand started to lift up. Press it down. Hug the elbows into one another. And then just maybe you tap one knee and then bring it down. Keep hugging the elbows in. Tap the other knee and then bring it down. Let's do two more. Tap the knee, bring it down. Tap the knee, bring it down. Come on down, okay? So you can feel that in the upper body. You can feel that in the shoulders working there. Yes, there's weight on the head, but the arms, the upper body is supporting, right? So, all right, after that, now if that was challenging for you, that's where you're gonna stay. Maybe you practice this 5 minutes a day for the next week or two before moving on. Let's try not to get eager and jump ahead, because that's when we injure ourselves and we create a practice without integrity. So we want integrity. We want to take the baby steps, just like you had to learn to crawl before you walked, walk before you run. It's the same process, and such is life, right? So tripod, again, hands under the shoulders, reiterating, almost tabletop, right? Then my head comes down. I can visibly see my hands. And then high on the toes, the butt lifts up, right? And then rock, shift forward, bring it down. Rock, shift forward, bring it down. Maybe the knee comes up. Now notice when the knee comes up, where are my hips, right? They're not back here, they're high up. And then maybe the other one. Hug the elbows in, firm the elbows in. This is where you will stay. Don't go anywhere else. Can you get lighter on the top of the head by pressing the hands into the mat? Now, if you want more, keep the knees tucked into the chest. That prevents us from arching the back, right? Keeping the knees tucked in. This is where you will stay. Good, go ahead and come down. Take a breath. Okay, all right, so let's move on now. We'll go with the wall. Let me grab a block really quick, okay. So come over here, using the wall. Now you'll have to play around with how far away you are from the wall. We're going to set up again the tripod hands. They're under the shoulders, shift forward so my head comes in front and I can visibly see my hands. Lift the hips up and then just walk the feet towards the wall. Now I'm a little bit too far away, so I'm going to back up just a little bit. Okay, and then just piking, L shape. Maybe from there you bring a knee in, bring it back out, hug the elbows. Notice that the elbows are displaying out, hug them, tap it in and bring it out. And then maybe tap it in. Tap it in, lift up if you're secure. Okay, bring it down and come down. Okay, so there we are with our tripod. Now, what I have kind of discovered is whatever way you learn, that's the foundation of your practice, and that's what you find as being simple. 1 second. So maybe that's tripod for you. Maybe it's what we're getting ready to do right now. So now we're going to come into our traditional. Okay? And this is the one I learned on, so this is the one that I prefer. But one's not better or harder or superior or inferior. It's all the same. They're just different, right? And that's what this entire practice. You know, somebody's not better because they can do a headstand. Somebody's not better or superior because they can do a handstand, right? These are silly stories that we make up in our head. So just acknowledge if you're experiencing that and just let it go. All right, so tripod, we hugged the elbows, we shifted forward, we used the wall. Now traditional, same thing, right? So elbow distance apart, and then you're gonna interlace the hands, right? So the interlacing of the hands, you have the elbows, the forearms, and the pinkies pressing into the mat. Now I'm gonna demonstrate on my back. So where the interlace of the hands comes almost where my ponytail is. Now, the biggest mistake I see happen is when we come here, the elbows come out wide. Remember what I said at the beginning, a building stacked, supported. Not really that supported, right? So when you come here, elbows, no, they've got to be in line with the shoulders. Are you seeing the common theme? Shoulders and elbows are in a line, right? They're stacked. So from here, interlacing of the hands. And you're going to drop your head. Remember, neutral neck, neutral neck. Let's go from there, and then we'll talk. So head down, and then just start to lift the hips up, all right? So I want you to stop here. How much weight are you pressing into the head? Now, can you press the mat away from the forearms, activating the arm muscles, right? The biceps, the triceps, the shoulders. Good. Now, you should almost be able to squeeze or slide a piece of paper underneath your head right now. So you're not dumping into your head, but almost like a forearm cinch, you're pressing the mat away, protraction of the shoulder blades to be able to support the body. So elbow distance apart, interlace of the hands, drop the head down, come into your down dog variation, so the hips are up. So first thing, first progression, elbows are in line, and now if you're out here, this is where you're going to stay. You're just going to work the firming of the arms. Stay there for a week, breathe, get 30 seconds, maybe a minute holding that position. Now, if that is fairly easy for you and you're ready to move on, you're in the down dog legs, supporting the head with the forearms. Squeeze the inner thighs together and come up behind the toes and shift forward. And then release down. Squeeze the inner thighs together, shift forward, and come down. Again, squeeze the inner thighs together, shift forward, and come down. Let's do 5 more. Squeeze, lift, release. 4, squeeze, lift, release. Keep pressing the mat away from the hands. We want space between our head and the mat. We don't want to dump the energy and the weight into our neck and our head. 1 more. Lift up. Good. Go ahead and come out. Woo. Take a breath. All right, so if that's where you are for today, you're going to stop this video and just practice that. Remember, 5-10 minutes each day on top of your daily practice. Now, if you're ready to see what else is in store and how to maybe move forward into that, let's go. So again, elbow distance apart, interlace of the hands, top of the head. So almost like when you're a baby, that small spot, that's what you want on the mat, right? And then lift the hips up, check the alignment of the neck. Now, we've already squeezed and lifted, right? So from there, can you lift 1 leg up? Set it down. Can you lift another leg up without going back and forth with the hips? Keep the integrity and bring it down. It's core, right? Lift and bring it down. Lift. Keep pressing the mat away from those forearms. Lift. 1 more. Lift. 1 more. Breathe, 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 breathe. Engage the core. Press the mat away from the forearms. Excuse me. Go ahead and bring it down. Take a breath. All right, so maybe that's where we stay, right? You can feel the core working. You can feel the upper body working. You can feel the firming of the legs, right? All right, third exercise. Here we are, okay? So we've done shifting forward. We've done lifting the knee into the chest. And now we're going to shift forward. Notice where my hips are right now. So go ahead and look at the screen. My hips are so past my shoulders. This is the press up. So once you're there, lift a leg. Maybe lift the other one. Stay here, little ball. Refirm the arms. So press the mat away from the forearms. Space between the shoulders and the ears. Protraction of the scapulas. Maybe lift 1 leg up. Hug that knee into the chest. Breathe, 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 breathe. And then bring it back down. Okay? And then come down. Release. So I'm going to demonstrate that same exercise with a block to reiterate this, right? The hugging of the knee. So this, notice my spine, it prevents us from doing this, okay? So this, right? Okay, so the block. This is a little more advanced, but I think that we could try it. There. And then I'm going to put that in 1 leg. Shift forward. Right? Shift, 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 shift. And start to lift. I'm squeezing the inner thighs together. My hips are square. Press the mat away from the forearm. Right? Squeeze that block into the chest. That's what's going to create a nice, strong, straight spine. So now you guys try it. Go ahead and come up into your forearm, almost dolphin, retreat dolphin and down dog.
Put the block between the left leg or the right leg, whatever leg you don't use to kick up. And then shift forward, forward, forward. See if you can lift the leg. Good. Breathe. Bring it down. And maybe your lift just looks like this. We hug both knees into the chest. Perfect. Right? Bring it down. And go ahead and release. And you can use the wall for this one too. Kelly and I both don't encourage ever facing the wall and kicking up, because that's teaching you momentum and it's teaching you to overkick. We want you to use this inner power, this inner strength to start to lift versus kick. All right, so I'm just going to go through it all again. We've got our tripod, hands right under the shoulders, head is in front so you can see the hands. You always lift the hips up by coming behind the toes. Hug the elbows in. Maybe tap a knee, maybe tap another knee, maybe both. Maybe you hug it, squeeze the elbows together. Breathe. Breathe. Last, you might lift the knees up. Notice I still have not straightened my legs up. I'm squeezing the elbows. I'm pressing the palms of my hands into the mat. I'm engaging the core. I'm squeezing the legs together. And then bring it down. Take a breath. All right, tripod. Shoulder distance apart. Interlace up the hands. Drop the head down. Lift the hips up. Maybe this is where you stay. We rock forward. Maybe we lift, maybe we do both, maybe we start to lift the knees up. So there's our progression. Now, you can always use the wall, right, like we did in that tripod. I'll demonstrate those two again. Hands under shoulders, head front, here, and you just take your L shape. This just gets you comfortable with being upside down. Maybe you hug the knee in, maybe you hug the other knee in. Notice I did not lift my leg up, right? I hugged it in, squeeze. Same thing here. Walk up, squeeze. Hug it in, hug it in. No weights on my head in this one, all on my arms. Okay. Okay, so to summarize, arms, core, legs, all knitting in, firming in every single inversion, even every single arm balance. And the great thing is you can activate all of these in your regular practice. Warrior 2, knit the ribs and firm the legs up, right? So start to practice that in your daily practice, and it's all gonna come together, right? You're gonna get stronger as a whole. And then adding these extra little exercises at the end of your practice is just gonna catapult you, further into your inversion. So remember, this is a journey. It takes time. I remember when I first started doing headstands about 10 years ago, I did them everywhere. I was so excited. I felt like a kid again. But just be mindful, have integrity, use awareness, use control versus momentum, right? Think about it. You're on your head, specifically headstand. Your neck, right? It controls and supports your entire spine. So be careful, be gentle. There's a safe way to practice. Headstands are a safe practice, but you have to do the tools and the teachings that have been given to you. So good luck this week or a couple weeks, however long you want to practice working the headstands, firming of the arms, firming of the ribs, firming of the legs, breathing and believing that you can. So thank you. We will see you again for round 3, class 3, which will be forearm stance. And then class 4, handstands. Class 5 is going to be advanced postures in all of these inversions. So thank you guys so much. Namaste.